Hey guys, Scott here from Natural Athlete Online Coaching. Today we're going to talk you through the TRX Row. So Kai asked me just a really good question. Is TRX Row only suitable for beginners? In a sense, yes, but also no. It depends. So it's a really good beginner exercise because, as you can see, you use the whole body, you use the core and you engage it, you use it as one unit. That has transferable ability over to the back squat and the Romanian deadlift, so you can lift heavy in those too, okay? It's also a very specific exercise if you do it with a hollow body position where the hips are back, because you never really recreate that in any other movement in the gym, and that actually gives you really good core engagement from the front as well. The only downside to the TRX Row, besides all of it has so many good points, the only downside is that you can't progressively overload it because you can't accurately. Because so if Kai gets in position, I can make this harder for her by asking her to walk closer to the rig. Now more of her body weight's dispersed into that movement, making it harder for her. But if I had a barbell row, I could just add on 2.5 kilos every time. Whereas here, I'm going to be measuring inches, and it's just not going to be accurate, okay? And walk yourself back. Cool. So without further ado, we'll get into the TRX Row. So to get Kaya started, I'm going to tell her to put her thumbs in her pits. This is going to be our start position, okay? What a lot of people do is, can you just walk forward for me, but can you stand up? What they do is they get their thumbs in their pits, and then they just fall backwards. It's no good that, especially if you're learning as a beginner, okay? So we always walk our way through into our start position after getting our thumbs into our pits, okay? Next thing she's going to do is make sure her shoulders are down. So I say, see that movement in the shoulders? So I say, imagine having a heavy weight on your shoulder and it's pushing it down. Making sure the shoulders are pinched together, making sure the elbows are in tight. So if you've ever done a Bulgarian goat back swing or a goblet squat, you'll see that these positions are created the same. Next thing is making sure the knees are fully back, so the legs are fully extended once we're in our start position. And then we're going to drop our hips back ever so slightly into hollow, further engaging this core area, okay? Just roll yourself down to the bottom position and hold. Okay, so when she's in the bottom position, I'm going to say hip check, shoulder check. So she's going to check her shoulders are fully down. Are they fully down? Yeah. Are they pinched together? So bring your chest through. There we go, cool. And arms are fully extended. And our hips are still in hollow, exactly like she is now. She's then going to row herself up to the top, making sure she keeps her shoulders down as she rows as well, okay? Okay guys, we're going to go through some common mistakes. So Kai's going to get herself in the hollow body position. What I see a lot is people leading with the hips. So the hips come up first. It makes it so much easier, okay? But it's a saggy body position. We're losing all core engagement. Remember, this is a full body exercise, okay? So we want to keep that hollow body exercise, hollow body position. The best cue for this is to lead with the shoulder, okay? So as Kaya goes down, she's going to think about leading with her shoulder first as she moves, rather than her hip first. If she thinks hip first, they're really going to shoot forward. She's going to lose all of that core engagement. So that's a common mistake, leading with the hips, losing hollow body position at the bottom. So Kaya's going to get herself in position again, pinch shoulder blades together, driving them down, elbows and tight and into hollow body and squeeze. She's going to pinch her armpit as well. Next common mistake we're going to show you is the shoulders rising, okay? So they're going to come out of depression. So squeeze them down. Generally this happens as people roll themselves down. They'll start to shrug up. But principally the most common thing is that when they're down there, so shoulders down, and they start to pull under the hardest part of the movement, their shoulders will pop up as they come up, okay? So what I want you to do in each position, start and finish, is I'll say shoulder check, boom, hip check, are we in hollow? Back down to the bottom, and then we're going to do shoulder check, hip check at the bottom too, and then we're going to row ourselves up, okay? So to avoid any common mistakes, this is the best way, shoulder check and hip check. Okay guys, the final mistake I'm going to show you is anterior rotation of the shoulder in the top position, okay? So when people get themselves in this position, it's quite easy. As they pull up from the bottom, they'll pull themselves into this anterior rotated position, okay? This will put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, so that'll be your feedback, that'll be your biofeedback that you're probably not doing it so well, and it'll take all the tension out of your upper back as well, okay? So we want to pull ourselves into this position, okay? There's no really good cue for this, but you should just look out for it as you're doing it. Record yourself and watch it back. If you see that when you're coming up, you're going and pulling into that anterior rotated position, just get yourself shoulder check, hip check, and back into your next rep.